In the middle of 1990, a time when the peaceful countryside was still wild and undeveloped, having only recently ended the subsidy regime. The residents primarily made a living by farming rice, growing vegetables, and fishing. More than a third of the households were poor or near poor. Therefore, the task of rebuilding and renovating the lives of the people was an urgent mission for young cadres like Alex. He was 27 years old this year and had just completed his military service. Alex had graduated with an associate's degree in engineering technology, so he was transferred to Jiangtine commune to work at the cooperative, responsible for agricultural machinery issues and disseminating new policies to the farmers. Besides Alex, there were a few other cadres of similar age. They held different positions. But generally, since that team arrived, this quiet village had shown some signs of positive change. Currently, Alex was sitting in the village communal house, a place considered sacred and solemn. Moreover, whenever important announcements needed to be made, everyone gathered here. And today was one such occasion. To gather everyone's attention, Chairman Brown of the commune smiled and said, "Dear villagers, please quiet down. Soon, I will announce some very joyful news." "What news, Chairman?" people called out. "Tell us so we can be happy too." Chairman Brown raised a hand. "Calm down, everyone, calm down." He then pointed to his briefcase. "This is an official dispatch I received yesterday from the Provincial People's Committee. Soon, high-voltage power lines may be extended to our commune. You will no longer have to envy other communes, wishing for electricity." "Is it true? Is it really true, Chairman Brown?" people exclaimed. "It's true, this is absolutely accurate news. The specific plan, where to erect the poles and transformers, will be handed over to the Provincial Power Company and Alex, our technical officer at the cooperative, to explain in more detail. For now, I need everyone to prepare mentally. Furthermore, if anyone's land is in the location where an electric pole will be erected, please be accommodating and do not object. Of course, having electricity is a great thing. I support it completely." The crowd gradually became ecstatic, cheering and clapping. It was clear everyone had been waiting for this day for a long time. After a few more announcements, Chairman Brown dismissed everyone. Alex, however, couldn't leave right away because Mr. Nash had asked him to check his cassette player. Mr. Nash's house was right next door, just a few steps away. Arriving at the gate, Mr. Nash fumbled for his key and mumbled, "Alex, how old are you this year?" I'm 27, sir." "So young yet so capable. Do you have a wife or children yet?" "No, sir, not yet, and I haven't even thought about it." "Not yet. If you don't get married, people will say you're odd. Coincidentally, I have a niece who's of marrying age. If you don't mind, I could set you up. She's very kind-hearted and loves to cook and take care of the house. If you marry her, you'll be well taken care of." Alex scratched his head awkwardly. He really didn't know how to respond. Just then, a voice rang out from behind him. "Mr. Nash, Mr. Nash." Alex turned to see a woman, looking timid and disheveled, her clothes patched and tattered, with not a single intact spot on them. Mr. Nash, seemingly knowing her, frowned. "Emily, what are you doing here?" "Mr. Nash, could you lend me a few thousand dong? I owe you money from 3 months ago, and I keep borrowing, now I need more money. Where would I get it to give you?" "Mr. Nash, I'm truly desperate, that's why I came to you. My husband, Henry, is drinking heavily, and now I have to borrow money to treat him. I beg you, please, just this one last time. The season is about to end, and I promise I'll pay you back, Mr. Nash." Mr. Nash frowned but then sighed. "All right, I'll lend you another 10,000. Remember to pay me back or else. No matter what relatives say, I'll ignore them all." "Yes, sir, I understand, I understand." After receiving the money from Mr. Nash, Emily hurried away. Alex, being curious, asked Mr. Nash, "Sir, was that Emily a relative of yours?" "Yes, she's my niece. Guess how old she is?" "Around 35, maybe 40. "She's 28, just 1 year older than you. See how old and worn out she looks compared to her real age." "Yes, sir, that's certainly true." "That poor girl has had such a hard life. She was born in the 6th month, and the fortune teller said she was born under a powerful, unlucky star. Whatever she tried would fail, and her relatives would be in danger. He even suggested sending her away or to a pagoda to become a nun. But her parents didn't believe him and insisted on keeping her. The consequence was that when she was 10, her father fell ill and died. 5 years later, her mother passed away, leaving her an orphan, forced to work as a maid for a rich family. Later, she met Henry, her husband, at a marketplace. They were both orphans working at a rice mill and quickly fell in love. After more than a year of knowing each other, Henry finally married Emily. They welcomed their first child about a year later, a plump and lovely baby girl, weighing over 3 kilograms. But just when they thought this was the beginning of a peaceful life, tragedy struck again. When their son was 3, the little boy developed a fever and rash. By the time the couple took him to the hospital, it was too late. On the day he died, Emily cried inconsolably, fainting repeatedly. After the painful loss of her child, Emily had barely recovered when her husband, Henry, fell ill. Doctors diagnosed him with severe lung disease. Since then, Emily has been alone, struggling, running everywhere to find a cure for her husband. That's why, even though she's still quite young, Emily looks so utterly wretched. Mr. Nash finished, sighing, "I feel so sorry for her, so I lend her money time and again. It feels like throwing money away, but I've never actively asked her to pay me back. She just comes to ask for deferrals every month. I don't know why her fate is so tragic. Anyway, back to business. Come inside, young man, and take a look at the machine." "Yes, sir," Alex nodded, following him into the living room of Mr. Nash's house. Mr. Nash pointed to the top of a wooden cabinet. "It's up there. I don't know why it was working fine, then suddenly nothing. It's a precious gift from my son-in-law, very valuable. I'm so upset and regretful it's broken. Let me show you." Alex examined the cassette player carefully. "This is a good brand, a famous one. Do you have a screwdriver I could borrow, sir?" "Yes, wait a moment." A few moments later, when Alex opened the cassette player, he quickly identified the problem. "What luck! It must have been dropped and one of the wires broke or came loose. I'll just solder it back and it'll be fixed." And just as Alex said, after repairing it, he inserted the batteries, extended the antenna, and voices from different frequencies began to sound clear and distinct. Mr. Nash clapped his hands in delight. "You fixed it. Thank you so much." "It's nothing, sir." "How much do I owe you?" "No charge at all, sir. If you send me money, I won't dare accept any repairs from you next time." "Ah, then no payment. Instead, tonight I'll invite you to a long meal, all right? Don't be shy. We country folks don't have fancy or exotic dishes. Just homegrown chickens, ducks, vegetables, and gourds. Please don't refuse." "Oh, I wouldn't dare refuse. I'm just a bit embarrassed." "Embarrassed about what? I told you, if you don't come tonight, I'll be offended. It'll be just a few neighbors, gathering for some drinks and conversation. How about it?" "Yes, sir, I understand. I'll be there." Good then. After a few more tasks, Alex excused himself from Mr. Nash and left. The day quickly turned into twilight. As promised, Alex arrived at Mr. Nash's house. By then, a table laden with dishes was already set. Seeing Alex, Mr. Nash beamed and waved him over. "Hey, we've been waiting for you. I thought you weren't coming." "How could I not? I promised. Please have a seat." Alex sat down and surveyed the group. Besides Mr. Nash, there were others. Mr. Nash quickly introduced them. "These are the brothers, 7 and 9. Their house is nearby. They're locals from the Riverside area that runs through our commune. The other one is Mr. Thompson. He's still single. His wife passed away, so he's alone. He asked to live in the communal house to sweep and burn incense. He's very thoughtful. Whenever there's a drinking session, I always call him over." "Hello, everyone," Alex greeted them. "Ah, young man, I've heard a lot of rumors about you." "Rumors? What kind?" "All good rumors. They say you're handsome, educated, and single. Many want to set you up with their daughters and nieces." "Oh, please, don't say that. I'm embarrassed. I haven't even thought about marriage yet. For now, I just want to complete my work at the committee office and the cooperative." "Oh, and Alex, what about the electricity lines? When exactly will they be installed?" "Sir, I don't know the exact time frame yet, but rest assured it will be soon." "That's wonderful. So this place is about to receive 2 pieces of good news." "2 pieces of good news? What are they?" "The first is the electricity lines, and the second is that the communal house is about to undergo major renovation." "Renovation? Where will the funds come from? Have you forgotten about our communal fund? Over the past few years, we've collected contributions, whatever people could give from their hearts. By now, the amount is quite substantial. And we also received an additional 5 million dong from Mr. and Mrs. Nguyen. They were originally from our village, settled abroad after liberation, and sent letters and money specifically to renovate the communal house, to make it the biggest and most beautiful compared to other communal houses. Really? That's truly wonderful. The old communal house is not only ancient but also severely dilapidated. If it weren't for the repairs, who knows what might happen during a storm or heavy rain. Everyone excitedly chattered. Mr. Nash began pouring wine into the cups. With such good news, everyone must have a good meal today. Come on, let's drink. Alex and the others joined in. The drinking session lasted until 10 p.m. Mr. Thompson was the first to stand up. Well, good night, everyone. I have to go back to the communal house. It's still early, have another drink. I'm a bit tired today, and alcohol affects me quickly. I have to go back there or I'll pass out here. Mr. Nash nodded. All right, you go on ahead then. Alex, hearing that, also spoke up. Yes, sir, I'll also excuse myself. What, have another drink? No, sir, I think we've had enough fun for tonight. I have to wake up early tomorrow for work. A public servant like you can't be late. Go on home, be careful. Whenever you're free, come over and we'll have another round. Yes, sir, I will. After Mr. Nash finished speaking, Alex bowed his head briefly, then got on his motorbike and rode back to the staff dormitory at the committee office. This was where the commune had provided him with a room. Although he said it was early, Alex was quite drunk. He lay down on the small bed and quickly fell into a deep sleep. At 7 a.m., Alex, as usual, was at the cooperative office to start his new workday. The hangover from the previous night's drinking left him with a slight headache. Walking into his office, he put his hand to his forehead, rubbing it. Just then, Victor, a colleague, spoke up. Were you out with a girl last night or something? You look like a mess. Of course not. Someone offered a few drinks last night, and you know I'm not good with alcohol. Hey, have you heard the news? What news? There's a rumor that the communal house in Jiangtine commune was robbed. Robbed, really? When did that happen? Last night I heard they stole the donation money. Is this true? It's true, I just heard about it a while ago. Apparently, there was a significant amount of money in the donation box. The police are even holding Mr. Thompson from the communal house for questioning. Hearing the familiar news, Alex was startled. He mumbled, "We just had a drinking session there last night. Could it be?" During the lunch break that day, Alex drove his motorbike to the communal house to check. When he arrived, he saw several police officers there. In front of the communal house, a sign was placed, "No unauthorized entry." Looking at the house next door, he recognized Mr. Nash sitting under the eaves, fanning himself. Without hesitation, Alex hurried over and called out, "Mr. Nash." Alex. Sir, I heard about the communal house about the theft. Is it true? Yes, I heard it from a colleague, but what exactly happened? Come in here, I'll tell you. Alex nodded, parked his motorbike, and walked over to sit beside Mr. Nash. Mr. Nash looked towards the communal house gate. I didn't know anything. Early this morning, I was still asleep when my wife woke me up, saying something was wrong at the communal house. I heard Mr. Thompson shouting, and it seemed very serious. Even the police arrived. At that moment, I ran over, still half asleep, and saw almost 10 people gathered inside the communal house. Everyone was pointing and whispering about the altar. Getting closer, I realized the donation box, where the villagers put their contributions, had been pried open. And inside, it was empty, not a single coin. Mr. Thompson then yelled, "Damn those thieves! If I find out who it is, I'll fight them to the death." But then, when the police questioned him, he seemed to snap back to reality. He stammered, "I know who took it. I know who took the money. It was Emily. Emily took the money." Mr. Nash was startled upon hearing that. Emily? Which Emily? Your niece, Emily. At that moment, I was also surprised. I didn't think it could be my Emily. But then, as Mr. Thompson kept insisting, I questioned him. Hey, don't accuse people falsely, all right? How could Emily be the thief? No, it was her, and no one else. It was her. Do you remember me having drinks at your house last night? Yes. I was going home. I saw Emily coming out of the communal house. She looked very hurried and anxious. I asked her, and she said she was lighting incense inside the communal house, praying to the Than Hong village guardian spirit to help her husband recover from his illness. I heard it and just thought she was telling the truth. Besides, I was a bit tipsy then, just locked the door and went straight to bed without checking the altar area. It was just her there. Her clothes looked strange at that time. The more I think about it now, the more certain I am that it was her. Mr. Thompson, calm down and think carefully. This isn't something you can just say as you please, it affects someone's honor. You might accuse someone falsely and bring trouble upon yourself, Mr. Nash. Mr. Nash, I know she's your relative, but what's right is right. No matter how close she is to you, are you going to defend a thief? No, I don't mean that. It's no good to say anything now. Let the police officers here investigate and verify the facts. So, throughout the morning, the police took statements from Mr. Thompson and several surrounding villagers. First, they even went to question Emily. So, Mr. Nash, was it Emily after all? The police questioned her earlier, but they couldn't find any concrete evidence, just Mr. Thompson's testimony. First of all, at that time, he himself had forgotten to lock the communal house door before coming to my place for drinks. So, it's impossible to determine if someone else entered during those few hours. As for Mr. Thompson, he kept insisting on searching Emily's house, but the police told him he couldn't without clear evidence. At this point, Mr. Nash sighed. It's all my fault. If I hadn't organized that drinking session at my house last night, this wouldn't have happened. Alex shook his head. Mr. Nash, don't blame yourself. For now, we need to quickly identify the culprit to recover the money for the communal house. From what Mr. Thompson said yesterday, that wasn't a small amount, and it was meant for the upcoming renovations. Mr. Nash nodded. I know, but Alex, the truth is, things are just beginning. What do you mean, sir? I mean Emily. They haven't found evidence against her yet, but I bet in this village, from morning till now, people are already gossiping and thinking she's the thief. I don't know what the villagers will say about her next, how they'll scorn her and spread rumors. Don't worry about that, sir. Everything needs to be done according to the law. If there's no evidence, it means Emily is innocent. If anyone tries to defame her or even harm her, the police will protect her. I guarantee that. If you say so, I feel a little relieved. But you know, people often say the king's law loses to village custom. Sometimes, without even lifting a finger, just rumors can crush a person so they can never recover. And poor Emily has suffered enough already. After a little while longer, Alex realized it was almost lunch break, and he hadn't had anything to eat. So he stood up and asked Mr. Nash for permission to leave. Next, Alex went to a noodle shop near the committee office. Since it was early afternoon, there were very few customers inside. Alex approached the shop owner with a smile. Sister, I'd like a plate of broken rice with ribs, please. A bit extra rice. I'm quite hungry today. All right, coming right up. Very quickly, the shop owner brought out the rice and placed it down. Alex didn't hesitate. He picked up his chopsticks and spoon and began to eat. After a while, Alex noticed the shop owner talking to another customer. Madam, have you heard the news about Emily? What news? I've been out in the fields all morning, I don't know anything. She stole money from the communal house. Good heavens, is that true? It's true, everyone's been talking about it since morning. But why would she steal from the communal house? It's a shame. But was she caught? No, she wasn't caught red-handed. It's just Mr. Thompson's account from the communal house. I think even if she did take it, she wouldn't have had enough time to hide the money. How would they find it? Are you sure it was her? If not her, then who? In this entire Jiangtine commune, everyone knows how sacred the communal house is. Even if someone wants to take offerings, they have to light incense and ask for permission, not just take it freely. But then again, Emily is at her wit's end now. Tell me, in this commune, who would lend her money? Her husband is sick, and she can't manage alone. Debts are piling up like a mountain. I even heard she borrowed from loan sharks and is about to lose everything. They say desperation breeds recklessness, poverty leads to crime. She's exactly in that situation. Alex felt a bit uncomfortable hearing these harsh criticisms. He remembered his conversation with Mr. Nash. He spoke up. "Ladies, please stop gossiping and spreading false rumors. The police haven't finished their investigation, and there's no evidence. If you say that Emily took it and she didn't, you're slandering her." "Oh, young man, if not her, then who? If it wasn't Emily who took it, I'll put my head on the ground for you to see. It was definitely her, no one else." Knowing he couldn't change their minds, Alex sighed and returned to his plate of rice. After eating, he paid and continued with his afternoon work. Around 5 p.m., Alex left the committee office. However, he didn't return to the dormitory but had to visit a livestock farm to explain some new cooperative policies. And then, whether by coincidence or not, as he passed a deserted road near the river, Alex caught a glimpse of a woman walking in the opposite direction. Getting a little closer, he recognized it was Emily. Looking carefully, Alex saw blood on her arm. Immediately, he stopped his motorbike and called out, "Emily, Emily." Hearing her name, Emily was startled. She looked at Alex, confused. "Young man, what do you want?" "Do you remember me? We met at Mr. Nash's house yesterday." "Oh, hello, what happened to you? Did you fall?" "Ah, yes, I fell." "Why don't you go to the medical station to get it bandaged?" "Oh, I'm fine." "How can you be fine? Your wound looks serious. Or are you worried about the cost? Please get on the motorbike. I'll take you there and I'll pay for everything. Don't be embarrassed. You're Mr. Nash's niece, so you're like family to me. He's very good to me." After a moment of hesitation, Emily agreed to get on Alex's motorbike. About half an hour later, after her wound was bandaged, he drove her home. On the way, Alex, out of politeness, didn't want to bring up the communal house incident, but Emily was the one who spoke first. "Haven't you heard the rumors about me? You might be cut off by everyone too." "I've heard them, but I have nothing to fear. I've been hesitant to ask until now, but since we're here, may I ask a question? Did you really take the money from the communal house?" No, I didn't take anything. I swear to you, if I took it, I'd die right away." "Don't swear, it's not necessary. Besides, I don't suspect you at all. If I did, I wouldn't have helped you get your arm bandaged. I did hear Mr. Thompson at the communal house say that he saw you coming out of there yesterday evening. Is that true?" "That is absolutely true. But when I went there, it was simply to light incense and pray for my husband to recover from his illness. I didn't take any money. I left in a hurry because I remembered it was time for my husband to take his medicine. But no one believes me. Everyone thinks I took the money. I don't know what to say to make them understand. The wound on my arm. That happened earlier today when I was walking on the road, and a group of people from the commune approached me, questioning me with harsh and hurtful words. No matter what I said, they refused to believe me. One person pointed directly at my face and said, "You'd better return the money to the communal house, or the Than Hong will strike you down." They then shoved me, causing me to fall, and my hand scraped against a pile of bricks by the roadside. I fell and got this wound. They seemed quite pleased, and then they just left. Good heavens, that really happened. Why didn't you tell me from the beginning? Do you know who they were? I'll take you to the police station to report them. What good would that do? It would just make things worse, and they'd find even more reasons to corner me. All I want now is to find peace and earn money to take care of my husband. Soon, he'll have to be transferred to the provincial hospital for treatment. I don't know where I'll get the money from. I might have to sell this house." Hearing her, Alex could only sigh. "I've heard Mr. Nash tell me about your situation, and it's certainly not easy. I can only wish you good luck, but if you need any help, please tell me. I'll help as much as I can." "You're too kind." "Don't say that. These are just things I should do." After a few more casual conversations, Alex drove Emily back home. However, when they arrived, he immediately saw about 7 or 8 people in front of her gate. They were holding sticks, clubs, bricks, and stones. The main gate, though closed, showed signs of being forced open, with many broken brick fragments. "There she is, she's back, the thief, everyone." Emily looked frightened, but Alex was different. He stopped his motorbike, got off, and walked forward sternly. "What are you doing?" "Alex, this is none of your business. We're here to get the money back for the communal house." "Everyone, stop this aggressive behavior right now. The police are handling what's right and wrong. Do you think by coming here to intimidate and punish Emily, you'll get the money back? Yes, if she doesn't confess now, we'll force her. We absolutely won't let her get away with that money. The villagers collected that money for years. It seemed Emily had reached the limit of her endurance. She stammered, her voice broken. I told you I didn't take it. Please leave me alone, please. Just as Emily finished speaking, the door of the house opened. A skinny man slowly staggered out. It was Henry, Emily's husband. Everyone, please forgive my wife, she didn't take it. She may be poor, but she always borrows money when she needs it. She never steals from anyone. I beg you, please stop bothering her. Oh, so you finally show your face, Henry. We've been here all this time, and you've been hiding inside. We respect that you're sick, but what's right is right. If your wife stole, we won't show any mercy. That's right, we need to get to the bottom of this. Emily, where did you hide the money? Give it back to the communal house. The situation grew increasingly tense. Alex felt as if the mob could rush in and attack Emily and Henry at any moment. But then, just at that moment, a motorbike approached. Alex recognized the first rider as Chairman Brown. He stopped his motorbike and dismounted, his face serious. What are you people doing? Is there no law and order anymore? Do you have no respect for the law? Accompanying him was a group of communal police officers in uniform. The agitated crowd began to step back as Chairman Brown approached. I understand your outrage, I truly do, but you must not terrorize people like this. We are handling the theft case, and we've even contacted the district police investigation team. Your job now is to wait, not to take matters into your own hands and impose your will on others like this. If any aggressive incident occurs, I and these police officers will arrest you all. I don't want to see things escalate further. Chairman Brown's arrival and the presence of the police officers seemed to calm the situation. After a few more scolding words, the crowd dispersed, everyone returning to their homes. After the agitated crowd left, Chairman Brown walked over to Alex and Emily's couple, sighing. All right, Emily, go inside. Don't worry, if anyone comes to harass you, people will report it to the communal police. I'm here now, no one will harm anyone. Thank you, Chairman Brown. And Alex, what are you doing here? Sir, Alex said, a bit flustered. He scratched his head and recounted everything. After listening, Chairman Brown sighed. Well, let's let things resolve themselves slowly. I believe that very soon, the police will find the culprit and restore Emily's good name. But if Emily is found to be involved, she will also face strict legal action. Do you understand? Yes, sir. I've already stated everything I know since this morning. All right then, we won't bother you anymore. I just happened to be passing by on official business. No one reported anything to me. Having said that, Chairman Brown waved Alex over along with the police officers. Only Alex and Emily's couple remained. Alex now had a chance to get a closer look at Henry's appearance. If Emily looked wretched, her husband now looked 10 times worse. He coughed constantly, revealing his bony, emaciated back, showing no sign of life. Henry looked at Alex, his voice weak. Thank you, young man. I don't think anyone in this commune believes me, but thankfully there's you. Don't worry, sir. I know what's right and wrong. Thank you once again. Please, come inside for a cup of tea. But then Alex suddenly remembered his unfinished tasks. He had almost forgotten due to his indignation over Emily's situation. Alex shook his head. No, I have to go now. Goodbye, brother and sister. If there's an opportunity next time, I'll visit. All right then, goodbye, young man. Leaving Emily and Henry's house, Alex quickly returned to his work, unaware that this would be the last time he saw Henry alive. 2 days later at noon, Alex, as usual, left work and went to his usual rice shop for a warm meal. When he arrived and ordered his food, while waiting, Alex looked around. Since it was noon, there were quite a few customers. At a nearby table, a group of people were eating and chatting loudly. Have you heard, everyone? That Emily, she dared to steal money from the communal house, and now she's been punished. Her husband died suddenly. It's a shame she couldn't even use that money. Alex froze. He spoke up. Sister, what did you just say? I said that Emily stole money from the communal house to take care of her husband. But now Henry is dead. It's karma. When did he die? I'm not sure. Everyone says it was this morning. There's a funeral being held there now, I think. But even if there is a funeral, who would go to attend the thief's house? They'll only bring trouble. Hearing this, Alex abruptly stood up. He walked out quickly. Young man, you ordered food, where are you going? Please excuse me, I'll be right back. Indeed, it wasn't difficult for Alex to immediately turn his motorbike and head straight to Emily's house. When he arrived, it was just as the people in the restaurant had said. What met his eyes were funeral banners waving in front of the small courtyard, which was packed with people. Looking closer, Alex realized these people weren't there to offer condolences. They were gathered in small groups, pointing inside and whispering, gossiping. Struggling to squeeze through the crowd, Alex entered the living room. There was still a body laid out on a bamboo bed, but now the unfortunate person was Emily. Mr. Nash, along with a few close relatives, was covering her with a white cloth. Mr. Nash. Hearing Alex's call, Mr. Nash turned around. Alex, Emily, Mr. Nash, what happened? Why is there such a crowd here? To allow Emily's preparations to be completed, Mr. Nash led Alex outside to the courtyard. Yesterday, after we buried Henry, I saw Emily looking very tired because she hadn't eaten or slept for days. I offered to have her come eat and rest at my place, but she refused, saying she wanted to stay here and burn incense for her husband. I tried to persuade her but couldn't, so I went home and told my wife to cook some food and bring it over. But when my wife and I went back around twilight, we couldn't find her. The house was locked from the outside. At first, I thought she was busy, perhaps shopping. Around 9 p.m., my wife and I decided to go home. Then, this morning, when I was in the fields, I stopped by and the door was still locked. I asked some neighbors, and they said Emily had taken the money from the communal house and run away. At that point, I got angry with them. I became increasingly uneasy, and I started to worry. When people started searching for her by the river, I went too. I prayed to God that the body wouldn't be Emily's, but it was her. And you know what's the most painful and disappointing thing? It's that she stole money from the communal house, after all the effort I put into protecting her. Sir, is it true about finding money in her house, or is there some mistake? No mistake. I heard several people searched and found money hidden in a wooden box that I personally gave to her and Henry on their wedding day. Back then, it contained gold and silver jewelry, but now it's just rolls of cash. Alex, I've lived this long and I still placed my trust in the wrong person. I'm both angry and frustrated, but also helpless because I know poor Emily had no other choice. But you, look outside. The people gathered there are still uttering unkind and hurtful words. But unlike before, what can I say to them now? What can I do to defend her? It's so shameful. Mr. Nash's voice cracked. Alex could only sigh, unable to say anything. A moment later, some police officers arrived to take further statements and officially close the case of the stolen money from the communal house. With nothing left to do, Alex left. His mood was extremely somber, and he didn't know if it was a coincidence or not. Passing by a pub, Alex heard someone call his name. Alex, Alex. Turning around, Alex recognized Chairman Brown and a few other cadres. They were relaxing after work. Alex replied, Chairman Brown, what's wrong? Tomorrow is the weekend, a day off. I'm inviting the guys to have a few drinks here to help us sleep. Everyone, come join us, it's more fun with you here. If it were any other time, Alex would have refused, but his spirits were low, so he nodded and entered the pub. Alex sat down, and after a moment, someone spoke. Alex, have you heard about Emily? I heard you were defending her the other day. I bet you've changed your mind now. I told you, even without concrete evidence, all suspicions pointed to her. If not Emily, then who? Only people at their wits' end do such things. All right, enough gossip, Chairman Brown sighed. No matter what, she's gone now. Talking about it repeatedly won't solve anything. Earlier, I rechecked the money found at Emily's house to officially return it to the communal house tomorrow. But I heard people say that the remaining amount is only about 1/3. The other 2/3 must have been used for Henry's funeral. And Chairman Brown? Another person interjected. That day, I told you the communal house in Jiangtine commune is very sacred. Whoever steals from it will be cursed. Before, Emily and Henry were poor and deep in debt, but they still had their lives. But touching that money, they lost their lives. Chairman Brown frowned when he heard that. You're starting with those superstitious stories again? How many times have I reiterated in meetings? Get rid of that mindset. Yes, we still maintain our traditions and beliefs in the Than Hong and other deities. Those are to uphold our heritage, but not to exploit them to stir up baseless stories. With the atmosphere becoming tense, everyone shifted to other topics. As for Alex, he said nothing, just kept pouring and drinking continuously. An inexplicable surge of emotion welled up inside him. By over 10 p.m., Alex was very drunk. His eyes were half closed, and he couldn't hold his wine glass steady. Chairman Brown and the others were also quite tipsy. Alex looked around and then spoke up. "Chairman Brown, I don't think I can drink anymore." "What? You're so weak. You don't have to work tomorrow. You can sleep until noon." "No, I really can't drink anymore. If I keep drinking, I'll probably vomit. Besides, I need to stay somewhat sober to drive home." "All right, you go on home then. I'll pay for your drinks. Consider it my treat tonight." "Thank you, sir." Alex stood up, bowed to everyone, and then stumbled out. Indeed, since arriving in Jiangtine commune, this was the first time Alex had drunk so much. He even took a while to correctly identify his own Honda 67 motorbike. He had bought this motorbike secondhand from a friend and renovated it. After inserting the key, he started the engine and drove off. The road from the pub to the dormitory wasn't too far, but because he was drunk, Alex kept driving in circles. As a result, when he looked again, he realized he had accidentally taken the road leading to the riverside. "Oh no, how could I have taken the wrong turn?" While fumbling to turn back in the original direction, Alex vaguely heard what sounded like crying somewhere distant and faint. Curious, he looked around. Alex didn't see anyone, but the crying seemed to get clearer and clearer. If someone was lost or in trouble, he wanted to help. Alex then called out, "Who's crying? Do you need help?" And then, from the tall grass by the riverside, a figure emerged. The person was moving towards Alex. It was dark, and though his motorbike had a headlight, it was still dim. Combined with his drunken state, he couldn't make out who it was. "Who are you? Why are you crying here at this hour?" A shaky, high-pitched voice replied, "Sir, please take me home. I'm so cold." "Are you lost? Why are you here at this hour?" "Yes, please take me home. I'm so cold I can't bear it." "All right, get on. Where do you live? I'll take you home." "I live in Jiangtine commune. Just go to the end of this road." Alex briefly glanced at her, then started his motorbike, driving off as the person settled on the back. After almost 15 minutes of driving along the small dirt path, they reached a T-junction. Alex asked, "Which way now?" "Left." "Yes, turn left as you wish." "Oh, but I recognize your voice. What's your name?" After Alex's question, he didn't hear the other person reply. He thought that as it got later, she must be struggling with the cold. He tried to drive faster. At the next junction, he asked again, "Which way now?" Again, there was silence, no response. Out of habit, Alex looked back and he was startled. There was no one behind him. The woman's figure was nowhere to be seen on the back seat. "Where is she, madam?" Alex called out. The road on both sides was utterly silent. After a few minutes, Alex wondered if she had jumped off at her house, and he hadn't noticed. This explanation seemed quite ridiculous and illogical, but it was perhaps the most plausible at the moment. He stopped thinking about it. Alex tried to find his way back to the main road and determine his direction, but at this point, the alcohol started to overwhelm him. His eyes grew heavy. He drove for a bit, then had to stop until he couldn't drive anymore. Alex stopped his motorbike by the roadside, sat down, and simply closed his eyes. He lost consciousness. In a hazy dream, Alex saw many chaotic images. Sometimes, he was standing in a rather deserted funeral procession, with the sound of drums and gongs and paper money for the deceased fluttering around. At other times, Alex felt himself being submerged in cold water until he couldn't breathe anymore, and then he suddenly woke up. He was surprised to realize he was lying in a completely unfamiliar room. Outside, it was already bright, with sunlight streaming through the window directly onto him. Alex held his head due to a headache and didn't know what to do. Suddenly, the door to a nearby room opened, and a familiar figure entered. "Mr. Nash." Indeed, the person there was Mr. Nash. He carried a hot towel. "You're awake, young man." "Yes, but why am I here?" "This is my house. Do you remember anything?" "Yesterday, I went out on some errands. When I was returning home, near my house, I saw a motorbike parked in the middle of the road and a person lying motionless nearby. I ran over and realized it was you. Do you know how worried I was then? Your whole body was icy cold. Luckily, I called a few neighbors over and we brought you here. You had a fever and were delirious all night, mumbling things. Hearing Mr. Nash's account, Alex was bewildered and stammered. I was that bad. It's nothing, falling unconscious from drinking is common. It's just that you're alone. You should know your limits when drinking. If you get too drunk, have someone drive you home. If I hadn't been there last night, you might have caught a cold. Thank you, sir. Aren't you going to work today? No, sir, today is the weekend. The committee office is closed, and the cooperative doesn't have any activities planned. Well, that's good then. Just rest a bit more. I've told my wife to cook, and I'd like you to stay and eat with us. Oh, I'm too much trouble. What trouble? Don't be so formal. I consider you like a grandchild in my house. My children are all married and settled, so it's just my wife and me. Don't be shy. If you insist, then I accept, but I won't sleep here. I'll get up, wash my face, and freshen up so I can go to work. If you're up, then help me around the house. I'm going to Emily's house to light some incense for her. The poor couple, now there's no one left to mourn them, and I can't bear to abandon them. Yes, sir. After washing his face and brushing his teeth, Alex was given a cup of hot tea by Mr. Nash, who then took a bundle of incense and left. Alex felt better as he sipped the warm tea. Looking at the cassette player on top of the cabinet, he stood up, intending to turn it on and listen to some news. He finished his tea, approached, and pressed the play button. Quickly, the announcer's voice began to play. He hadn't listened for long when the cassette player started to get distorted. Alex frowned. It was working fine just now. He adjusted the antenna. After about a minute, the static stopped. Listening carefully to the announcer's voice, Alex now heard another sound like crying. He leaned closer, and the crying became distinctly clearer. Alex recognized it as a woman's crying. Moreover, he heard groaning and moaning, which made him increasingly uneasy. He didn't know whose voice it was when suddenly, a scream made Alex recoil, covering one ear. The cassette player seemed out of control. This isn't good. Alex quickly stepped forward to turn it off. The room, which had been peaceful, was suddenly disturbed. If it were normal, Alex would immediately try to fix it, but he thought that since he was alone at home, he should wait for Mr. Nash to return before doing anything. About half an hour later, Mr. Nash anxiously walked in through the gate. Alex sat up, calling out and bowing respectfully. You're back, sir. I'm back. Have you eaten yet? My wife took a bit long shopping. Women, you know, they like to bargain, and sometimes it takes a while. Not yet, Mr. Nash. Sir, your radio seems to be broken somehow. Alex recounted what happened, and Mr. Nash looked surprised. Strange, isn't it? This morning, I turned it on, and the radio was working fine. I don't know why, but when I turned it on just now, it made that sound. Sir, can I check it for you? Wait, why ask for permission? You helped me fix it once before. Go ahead, I trust your skills. Yes, sir, I'll check it then. But when Alex confidently turned on the cassette player, there was nothing unusual. No static, no screaming. Instead, the announcer's voice was perfectly loud and clear. See, I don't think there's anything wrong with it. It must have just been some interference earlier. This cassette player is very durable. It's not easily broken. Alex was about to explain further when Mr. Nash's wife arrived. She was carrying quite a lot of groceries, including some vegetables and a large fish. Husband, Alex is awake. Oh, Alex, you're awake? That's wonderful. Alex, you worried me so much. I was afraid you had caught a cold. Now that you're awake, how do you feel? Are you tired or in pain anywhere? No, madam, I'm much better. Thank you so much. Oh, I didn't do anything for you to thank me. Mr. Nash then said, All right, it's getting late. Go to the kitchen and cook. I'm starving, and Alex probably isn't feeling much better. I know, you two sit here and chat all right. Yes, madam. While waiting for his wife to cook, Mr. Nash poured himself a cup of tea and began to sip it. As for Alex, he suddenly remembered something. He asked, Sir, about Emily, where was she buried? Last night, around 8 p.m. Why so quickly? When poor Emily passed away, her body wasn't intact. and no one came to visit. After asking the fortune teller for a suitable day, but getting no luck, I discussed it with everyone. We decided to just bury her quickly once everything was prepared, leaving her in the house like that would only make it colder and sadder for her. So, a small funeral procession, about a dozen people, packed up their things and divided themselves to carry the coffin to the cemetery. Luckily, the grave had been prepared by some acquaintances that afternoon, otherwise, we might not have been able to bury her until this morning. The more Alex listened, the more he felt sorrow for the unfortunate woman's fate, who was both pitiful and, in the villagers' eyes, blameworthy. That evening's dinner, according to Mr. Nash's wife, was the most elaborate and joyful meal the couple had had in months. She kept refilling Alex's bowl whenever she saw him finishing. After eating, Alex stayed and chatted with the couple for another hour before asking to leave. Time gradually passed. It was now over 6 p.m. Alex was lying on his familiar bed in his dormitory room. Since returning from Mr. Nash's house, he had felt an inexplicable churning in his stomach, and cold shivers occasionally ran down his spine. He thought it was just a lingering effect of yesterday's drinking, so he tried to brew some ginger tea to sober up. He did that for a while, then felt his eyes getting tired. Alex didn't want to fight it, so he just drifted off to sleep. And then, once again, Alex dreamed of chaotic images, the most prominent of which was Emily. She was shivering all over, her hair disheveled, as if she had just emerged from the water. Emily stood a few steps from Alex, her eyes staring at him accusingly. Alex was not yet aware if he was dreaming or awake, so he was a little curious. "Emily, didn't you pass away already?" Emily, her body still trembling, pointed towards the river. "It's so cold, young man, so cold." Alex was about to step forward when a loud noise in his ear startled him awake. He recognized the sound from his alarm clock. Oh my God, it's already morning? This indicated that Alex had slept through the entire night. Today was Monday, the start of the week, so of course, he couldn't sleep any longer, even though his whole body felt sore. So Alex got up, stretched, and went to take care of his personal hygiene. Each room in the dormitory didn't have its own bathroom. There was only one communal bathroom for the entire floor. This was why Alex usually set his alarm for 5 a.m., because at that time, not many people used it. With his towel draped over his shoulder, Alex walked straight towards it, but then he stopped when he saw the bathroom door closed and the sound of running water coming from inside. Alex mumbled to himself, "Who's up so early?" It wouldn't be a problem if Alex waited for another 5 or 10 minutes, but time kept ticking by. Almost half an hour later, he still saw no sign of the person inside opening the door. A bit impatient, combined with an urgent need to use the bathroom, made Alex unable to wait any longer. He knocked on the door. "Who's in there? Are you done? Please let me in, I can't hold it anymore." Just as Alex finished speaking, the sound of running water continued, but there was absolutely no response. Almost 10 more minutes passed. Now he was at his breaking point. Although he knew it was a bit impolite, he had no other choice. He approached and tried the doorknob. To his surprise, it wasn't locked. Even more surprisingly, when Alex pushed the door open, there was no one inside. Good heavens, so the faucet was just left running? He had been standing outside waiting. Alex slapped his forehead, mentally punishing himself for his foolishness. Without further delay, he quickly entered to take care of his personal hygiene. After relieving himself, Alex stood in front of the mirror. He turned on the faucet and began to wash his face and brush his teeth. He thought everything would proceed smoothly until he dried his face and looked into the mirror again. Oh my God, the reflection still gave him a fright. Because standing behind Alex was a figure, and that figure was Emily. One of her eyes was missing, leaving only a hollow socket where the eyeball should have been. This was the first time in his life Alex had witnessed such a terrifying sight. He quickly turned to look, but Emily's figure had vanished. Alex stumbled out of the bathroom. This frantic haste caused him to collide with another person walking in the opposite direction. The collision sent Alex tumbling to the floor. "Alex, are you all right?" "I'm fine," Alex mumbled, getting up and continuing to walk. The other person mumbled, "Strange, what's wrong with that guy? He looks like he's seen a ghost." Alex returned to his room, locked the door, and lay on the bed. In his mind, Emily's image remained vivid. He mumbled, "Am I seeing things? How can this be?" He tried to reassure himself for a moment longer. Alex then went back to getting dressed and preparing for work at the committee office. After he was ready, he walked out, trying his best to avoid the bathroom. That entire workday for Alex couldn't have been worse. His mind was constantly preoccupied, and his stomach felt hot and uneasy. Because of this, by just past 4 p.m., Alex couldn't bear it anymore. He had to ask to leave work early to rest. Upon returning to his room in the dormitory, Alex locked the door and lay down. He sighed heavily. "I'm so tired, I must get some sleep." Alex hoped that after this sleep, his body would return to normal, but what followed was not what he wished for. He was still seeing Emily's horrifying image. What's more, Alex felt as if a heavy stone was pressing down on his entire body, making him unable to move his arms and legs. When he couldn't bear it anymore, Alex screamed loudly and then woke up. He was panting, realizing it was just a dream. It was only a little past 3 a.m., still too early. Alex was about to lie back down when he heard the distinct sound of footsteps in the hallway outside. "Who's there?" Just as Alex finished wondering, the footsteps stopped right outside his room door. Then a soft knocking sound. Alex just thought it was someone from the dormitory who needed something, so he got up. "Who is it?" Alex asked as he approached the door. However, when he cautiously pulled back the latch, to his surprise, there was no one outside. The hallway was completely empty. Alex frowned. He distinctly heard a knock just now. He looked out once more, and after confirming there was no one, Alex closed the door. But then, before he could return to his bed, he heard a knock on the door again. This time, the knocking was quick and somewhat urgent. "Who is it?" Alex turned around and asked, simultaneously reaching to open the door. Yet again, Alex saw no one. "If anyone is trying to play tricks, stop bothering me." Having said that, Alex slammed the door shut. He didn't know if it was his annoyed tone, but Alex didn't hear any more knocking sounds. Lying back on his bed, he sighed and closed his eyes. He hadn't been lying there for long when the knocking on the door sounded again. Alex was extremely annoyed now. He jumped out of bed, hurried towards the door, intending to give the person a piece of his mind. But alas, as soon as he opened the door, what met his eyes was the figure of Emily. Her terrifying figure, which Alex had witnessed at least once or twice before. His heart seemed to stop. The two were now less than 3 steps apart. Alex could even smell the damp earth from her body. Cold, so hungry. Alex could only stumble backward in shock, and Emily's horrifying figure kept getting closer and closer. Stay back, Alex screamed, and then just like that, he woke up, frantically clawing at the air. "Stay back, don't come here." It took Alex a while to calm down and realize he was lying in his bed, the room door still latched. What's wrong with me? Was it just a dream again? Of course, he could only reassure himself this way, having no other choice. He stayed on his bed until the alarm clock rang, but even before his mind was fully stable, Alex opened his room door. He froze, seeing a puddle of water mixed with dark mud right on the tiled floor in front of his door. What is this? Alex was bewildered for a moment. He was even so scared that he didn't even bother with personal hygiene, just quickly changed his shirt and ran straight to the committee office. Near noon, the break time began. Alex was in a daze, his eyes unconsciously staring at the corner of the wall. Victor, his colleague, then spoke up. "Alex, what's wrong with you?" Startled, Alex stammered, "I'm fine, just a bit tired." "It's time, aren't you going to eat?" "I'm not hungry, but hey, have you heard the news? Everyone's talking about it. They say it's related to Emily." The mention of Emily's name made Alex slightly jump. "What news?" "Well, it's a bit superstitious, but people say Emily's soul hasn't found peace yet. It's lingering, haunting people. There have been not just one but several incidents already. Someone saw her by the river asking for a ride, another saw her shadowy figure hidden inside her and Henry's house. Someone even said she's looking for someone to take her place. In short, it's very strange." Normally, Alex would quickly dismiss such stories, but given what he had witnessed from yesterday until now, he began to believe in the existence of Emily's ghost. "Victor," Alex called his friend, "are you just trying to scare me?" "No, Alex, I think I've seen Emily too." "Are you serious?" Alex nodded. He then recounted the strange things he had experienced. Now it was Victor's turn to gasp. He looked at his colleague with concern. "This isn't good, Alex. She's really haunting you." "Haunting? How can she haunt me? I didn't do anything." "It's hard to say. Sometimes it could be because you're compatible in age. What should I do now?" Like this, for the past 2 days, I've been living like a soulless corpse. All right, let's go find Master Leo again. Maybe he can help. Yes, of course. Master Leo is famous for his high spiritual abilities. And I heard that several people in the commune have come to him to get talismans to ward off evil spirits related to Emily. So, will you come with me later? Time gradually passed until past 5 p.m. Alex and Victor left the cooperative to go to Master Leo's house. When they arrived and explained the situation, he seemed quite excited. Excellent! Finally, the person I've been waiting for has arrived. What do you mean, sir? Master Leo then mumbled. Actually, in the past few days, I have known about the existence of Emily's ghost. I wanted to approach her to help her find peace and prevent her from harming innocent people. But she avoids me whenever she sees me. I couldn't do anything. So, after hearing your story, I guess you are compatible in age and aura with her. I need your help with something. What is it, Master? You must make her appear one more time, and when she's unprepared, I will act. But don't worry about it. With me here, no matter how fierce she is, she cannot harm you. After a moment of thought, Alex nodded. He had no other choice at this point. That night, in his dormitory room, Alex lay on his bed, the door only latched, not locked. In an adjacent empty room, Victor and Master Leo were standing by, waiting for Emily's ghost to appear. At first, Alex was wide awake, his eyes sleepless. But by the time the clock struck midnight, drowsiness overcame him. Remembering Master Leo's instruction not to force himself to stay awake, he mumbled to reassure himself and then drifted into sleep. Meanwhile, Master Leo and Victor waited in high concentration. Then, when they heard strange noises coming from Alex's room, they gasped, "She's here!" Without hesitation, Master Leo quickly rushed over, but when he tried to push the door open, they found it locked from the inside. "Damn it, I told him not to lock the door," Victor kept calling inside. "Alex, Alex, open the door." There was no response. All they heard were sounds as if someone was giggling and kicking at the bed. Feeling increasingly uneasy, Master Leo gestured to Victor. As if understanding, Victor braced himself and kicked the door open with all his might. The room door burst open. What the two men witnessed was utterly bizarre. Alex was sitting motionless on the bed in a cross-legged position. His head was bowed. Victor stammered, calling out, "Alex, Alex." Master Leo then took out a small wooden charm from his pocket. He pointed it at Alex and said in a solemn voice, "Emily, is that you? I've been looking for you these past few days, but you always ran away when you saw me. Now listen to me, this room has been prepared by me. You cannot escape. Obediently cross your arms and stay still for me." As Master Leo finished speaking, Alex's body began to emit muffled sobs. Why do you all keep pushing me to the brink? What did I do wrong?" "How can you say you did nothing wrong? Stealing money from the communal house is right. Don't use the excuse of taking money to care for your husband to cover up. Theft is a crime that cannot be tolerated." "When did I steal? When did I ever steal?" Alex then looked up, revealing a pair of pale white eyes with no pupils. "What do you people know? You gather all day, gossiping and accusing me and believing it's true. I hate you all. I hate you all so much." It was at this moment that Emily, in Alex's body, began to recount the entire truth. It was true that she had never touched the money in the communal house. Emily, wanting to clear her name, intentionally sought out Mr. Thompson to ask him to try and remember if he had seen anyone else besides her. This effort led Emily to discover Mr. Thompson's somewhat strange behavior. Mr. Thompson was a heavy gambler who owed a lot of money to a group of loan sharks, the very group that had previously lent money to Emily, and she had struggled greatly to pay them back. Emily discreetly investigated and learned that Mr. Thompson, who had been heavily in debt from gambling, had in recent days not only managed to pay off his debts, but also seemed to have a lot of money, which he spent lavishly. And on that fateful night, Emily followed him as he walked home after drinking. When they got close to the riverside, Emily stopped him and confronted him. Mr. Thompson vehemently denied everything until Emily pressed him, threatening to expose his recent lavish spending to everyone. At that point, Mr. Thompson broke down. He lowered his voice and confessed that he had stolen the money because he was desperate. He also promised to give Emily some money, but she adamantly refused. She told him to come with her to the police station to confess. Mr. Thompson pleaded and begged Emily, but she remained firm. A moment later, she didn't hear Mr. Thompson beg anymore. He bowed his head, saying he agreed to confess. However, it was all a ploy to distract her. When Emily wasn't paying attention, he lunged at her and pushed her into the river. Having been busy with her husband's funeral for days, without eating or sleeping, even though Emily knew how to swim, she quickly lost strength and sank. Mr. Thompson was so cold-blooded that he didn't show even a hint of remorse. He simply returned to the communal house. As Emily finished her story, her eyes were filled with resentment. Mr. Thompson, who was standing nearby, mumbled in shock, "How can this be? How can this be true? But why didn't you tell me sooner? I tried to find your spirit several times." "How could I dare? You already had a prejudice against me. No matter what I said, you wouldn't believe me. And what about Alex here? He had no grudge against me, so why did he pretend? At first, he pretended. I thought he was kind and compatible with my aura, so I wanted to find him to tell him the truth, hoping he would bring justice for me. But when he saw me, he was scared and avoided me. Now I've said what needed to be said. Whether you believe it or not, it's up to you." "All right, let's put the right and wrong aside for now. I'll investigate. I promise you, if the truth is as you say, I will clear your name and make Mr. Thompson bear full responsibility. But now, quickly leave Alex's body and follow me. Your resting place there has incense and offerings, so it won't be cold anymore. But I also warn you, if what you just said is a fabrication, I will not be lenient with you. Do whatever you want. I have lost everything now. I thought after death I would reunite with my husband, but no, his fate was to be taken by the underworld spirits to be reincarnated, while I am now just a wandering ghost." After letting Emily's spirit lament for a few more sentences, Master Leo stepped forward and placed his hand on Alex's forehead. He mumbled an incantation, and Alex's body convulsed. About a minute later, Alex coughed and gasped repeatedly. He looked around, bewildered. "What happened? You don't know." "Know what? I just dozed off." Victor then began to recount everything that had just happened. Needless to say, Alex was extremely surprised. The very next morning, Alex, Victor, and Master Leo were present at the communal house. The three of them confronted Mr. Thompson. Unlike with Emily, this time he couldn't deny his crime or try to pretend. Master Leo said that Emily's spirit was waiting for revenge. He panicked and bowed his head, confessing his guilt. That same day, the news spread throughout the commune. People continued to discuss Emily, the unfortunate woman, and for the first time, those who had scorned and ostracized her now came to light incense and apologize. Clearly, this regret could not bring Emily back to life. However, to some extent, it brought peace to her wandering soul. With the matter concluded, Alex felt as if a great burden had been lifted. That afternoon, he accompanied Mr. Nash and his wife to the cemetery to light incense and burn offerings for Emily and Henry's couple. That night, Alex dreamed of Emily again, but this time she no longer had her terrifying appearance. She looked just as she did when she was alive, even more radiant. Emily looked at Alex with a bright smile. She bowed her head in gratitude, and then just like that, she vanished.